guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Tired Mama, and I do a little bit of everything. We have weight loss journey. I'm currently down about 43 pounds in 6 weeks. I do work from home, which that's today's topic. We're going to be talking about ways and companies that you can work for from home and make a full-time income. They do exist. They are not scams, and I'm not involved in 4 of my 5 recommendations. So it's not that I'm going to earn money off of recruiting you. I just want to give you the information. I also have recipes, mom things, you name it, we do it. So hopefully you'll stick around, and let's talk about 5 companies or 5 different business types that you can work for from home and make a full-time income. Okay? Now make sure you stick around for the 5 tips at the end on how to be successful working from home. Number 1, and the one that I personally work for, have been with them for about 4.5 years, 5 years, is Upwork. I'm currently a top-ranked Upwork specialist. I have a 100% job completion rate, and I have made quite a bit of money. This is how I support my family. Upwork is a marketplace. Businesses will post freelance positions that they have, and you can bid on the job. Now, realize that there are a few different ways to get jobs, and there are a few different things that you need to be aware of. I'm going to do a whole video on just Upwork by the end of this week on how to set up a profile and how to land your first client. And I have found the wages on Upwork to be much better than working for companies like Sitel or Logistics, where you're working from home using their equipment. At one time, I did work for Sitel. I answered the phone for a chain restaurant company, and I think I made like $9 an hour, and that was just maybe 7 years ago. So it wasn't a great gig. I make much more than that now. I get to set my own prices, and I love what I do. I currently hold 4 contracts with them, and it has put me in a place that, you know, like yesterday, I needed to go buy car tags and pay bills, and I didn't have to sweat it. I could just go do it because my money was there, you know? So that's my first recommendation, is Upwork. Number 2 is online ESL. If you've been here for any length on my channel, you'll know I have tons of videos about different online ESL companies, including VIP Kid, Palfish, GoGo Kid. So go back and watch some of those if you're interested in any of those companies. The third way that you can work from home and bring in a full-time income is if you are a creative person. There are a lot of people, I know specifically around me, that make full-time incomes from making t-shirts. From they either sell it in an online shop, Facebook, some of them sell shirts and cups and pillows, all these things. At flea markets, they'll take and set up their Cricut, or I don't remember the other name of that machine, but y'all know what I'm talking about. And they set all of these up, and they create things, and they make quite a bit of money doing it. You know, that's something that you have to be willing to invest in first. Maybe you enjoy making things for your family, and then you can kind of grow from there. Number 4 is the delivery companies. There's Uber, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Instacart, and there are some others I can't remember off the top of my head. Waiter, I think, is one. You can make money with these companies. You have to be willing to hustle, though. I have seen some people, I know recently DoorDash dropped their prices that they're paying delivery drivers quite a bit. So you have to be kind of leery and pay attention. But I see people on there who make $100, $200, $300 a day. A lot of that can depend on your location. I do know one gentleman who lives in California, and he drives to, I think it's San Diego, every weekend, and he just gets a cheap hotel, and he stays from Friday to Monday, and he said he makes about $1,000 in those days. Not everyone can do that, though, okay? And number 5 is probably one of the coolest things that I've seen, and I've really only seen this here recently, is being a reseller. So my daughter is into vintage clothes, and we go to the thrift stores all the time. Well, I ran into a woman, and this is what she does. She goes to thrift stores and she buys good and name brand items at good prices. And she says she turns around and she sells them on eBay or Amazon or Facebook Marketplace. She makes a full-time income with 6 kids at home. So she said she goes out and does her shopping during the day while they're at school. Then she lists items online. And she listed eBay, and then there was another one, Mercari or something like that. And she said this is what she does to help people, or to help bring income into her house. And I think that's a really cool idea. Again, you have to be kind of willing to buy things up front and know what will sell. You have to have kind of a fashion sense for that. But if you're capable and able to do that, that may be the action for you. So the 5 things is number 1, Upwork. Number 2, online ESL. Number 3, creative items, making items to sell. Number 4 are the delivery companies. And number 5 is being a reseller. These are 5 jobs that can produce full-time incomes, and many people do them. Now, is it a good idea to go out and buy all the t-shirt equipment if you have 5 friends who do the same thing and you all kind of share the same community? Probably not. Okay, so you have to kind of think about that in advance. Okay, so let's talk about 5 things to remember about working from home. And these are 5 things I have learned that are vital to your success. Remember that it's not always going to be full-time from day one. You can't just quit your job and say, oh, I'm going to be a full-time, t-shirt maker, and expect that the very next week you're going to have a full-time income. Okay? Remember that just because you're working from home doesn't mean that you're going to be able to have your kids at home or other people around you. If you're working for another company from home, maybe you have to answer the phone. You still have to have a quiet background. You still have to have a peaceful area to work from. That may not work if you have mom, grandma, and 3 kids living in the house. You may have to look at other job opportunities because having that quiet background isn't your house. Okay. There are 2 types of work from home if you're working like Upwork contracts. I call them a still schedule, STILL, or a flex schedule. Now, my contracts are all flex schedules. Basically, I have certain duties that I perform every single day, every single week, and I log into these business accounts. I handle the business, I log my time, and it doesn't matter if I sign in at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, or maybe I have one that I need to do between 10 and 2. But it's not a set schedule in that I have to sign in at 8, sign out at 5. Now, there are many contracts that are still a still schedule. So you have to work 8 to 4, 8 to 3. They want you sitting at your computer on those times. So that's information you're going to want to find out when you're looking at different opportunities. You're going to have a workspace, and that's regardless of what you're doing. Okay, any of these, even the delivery companies, you have to have a car. You have to have a newer car. You have to have a car that you can go out and that it's insured. If you're going to be working from home, you need an office space. It can be a dining room table, and I can tell you I have done the dining room table. I have done my coffee table. I currently have 2 offices in my house just because it's a convenience thing. I have the office that I film in, and then I have my office that I work on my computers in, that's in another part of my house. That's what works for me. But if you're going to make t-shirts, you got to have room for equipment. You got to have computers. You got to have internet. There's something you got to have for each opportunity. If you're looking at companies like Sitel and you're going to be working from home, they do provide you everything, but I think a monitor and a keyboard, but you have to have a very quiet space. and it is a very set, I think I worked like 11 to 8 or something. All right, you have to have a business mindset. Sometimes we get carried away and we think that we're going to do such huge, great things, and we spend too much money on equipment, or we think that we need, a $3,000 computer, when in reality you just need a cheap Chromebook. You have to take all of those things into account. You have to take into account that it's a business. You're running a business out of your house. And keep that mindset of, the big thing for me when I started this was telling people, oh, well, I work from home. And then people would stop by at like 11 o'clock and they'd want to sit around and have coffee. And I'm like, I gotta work. I can't always take off in the middle of the day to go have lunch with my sister 30 minutes from here. Some days maybe I can. Some days my schedule may be light and I can do that. Other days I can't. I can't just drop everything and go to a doctor's appointment whenever I choose. I have to make sure it fits my schedule because that's my business. And you don't ever want to start off with a bad reputation, because reputations go around in this business too, as far as your Upwork. They get to rank you. The people you work for get to rank you. If you do a great job, that goes a long way in securing your next contract. Okay? So I hope that you got something out of this. Do you work from home? I will say YouTube is another source of income for me, but I didn't mention it because it can take years to get to the point that you get a check every month from YouTube. So that's why I didn't bring it up. But you can do this, and you can do this successfully. You just have to follow some steps and realize if the contract or the job sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Okay? Make sure you stick around. Lots more coming out very, very soon. And until next time, guys, remember 3 things. Number 1, you are worth the time that it takes to lose weight or better your life. Number 2, you are worth the effort that it takes to lose weight or better your life. And number 3, you are loved. Until next time, guys. Bye.